Can you see me?
Hello. Yes, I see you.
Hi.
Thank you very much for taking the time. So how are you doing? How is everything?
Everything is fine. Just working on new material. Looking forward to go to the festivals very soon again. Playing at Rock am Ring in Rock in Park this weekend.
Mhm.
One of my, also very special festivals to me. And of course, Rock for People coming up as well. And
Mhm.
that's also one of my favorite, well, it's actually the favorite festival that I want to play because I'm going to be fangirling backstage because there's so many bands that I love.
Yeah. I mean, it's
They're my
quite,
favorite bands playing. So it's,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
quite different from, I mean, from what you were used to, right? Because it's like this
yes,
multi-genre
exactly.
festival. You never been there before, and
No,
it's it's unique in the way that there are many bands across all genres, so you can maybe walk around and see some other
well, so
songs.
that so I tell you something that I haven't told anyone else before is that I was actually planned to play on Saturday, and then they all of a sudden moved us to the Sunday. I said, "What the hell? I don't want to play on Sunday. I've seen all those bands before. I want to say play on Saturday." And they put
Good
us back
call.
again.
That's a good call because I won't be there on Sunday. So thank you
Okay.
for that. Uh, Thank you for
Yeah.
that. I was told that we are doing this for you to preserve your voice at the festival, so we don't have to talk to everyone.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
and your voice, I think, remained recognizable all throughout the statistical changes throughout the 30 years. Um, and I mean, have you ever felt pressure to change your voice or change your singing style to accommodate to a new stylistical direction?
Well, I do think I've changed the way of singing many times with every album a little bit here and there, but also because sometimes to challenge myself and also to redefine my own style and my own sound in a way. And sometimes it was needed because it was written in a different tonality, way lower than I'm used to, and I had to sing really low and more rock like and more a little bit more aggressive, which I was in the first few years never did before, and I wasn't used to. But it also became more. Yeah, more. How do you say? Maybe the first two albums were a little bit light. The way I
Hmm.
sang, it was classical, or it was with a normal way of singing, and now it became more grungy, more I don't know, more grown up. I think also at certain things in certain songs, and you develop yourself. So it's nice to change here and there. Although I've always tried to keep my own identity within it and just try to reinvent myself. I think with certain songs.
Hmm. I mean, it comes naturally, right? Throughout the years, you develop and
Yes,
you
it
grow.
does.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And today, this year, I mean, is marking 30 years of Within Temptation.
Yeah, I
And
can't believe it. It's crazy
yeah,
how fast
time
time went.
flies. And I don't know if you are planning something special because last year also was 25 years from Mother Earth. I don't know if you are doing some like special set list or special, I don't know, stage setup, but are you sentimental in this way? Are you trying to
Not at all.
know?
Not at all. Not at all sentimental. No, of course, when we're looking back, we're like, oh my God, it has been such a crazy ride and such a journey with each other. And but don't feel to go back in time again. We just want to make new music and develop ourselves still in a new way. And yeah, so it's we've never looked back actually, but now we're forced to look back because everybody's like, yeah, it's already 30 years
Yeah.
that you like, oh my God, actually it's been that long, yeah.
Mm.
But we're not that nostalgic with the things. No, that's also the reason why we've kept on changing. I think if we would have been nostalgic, we might have repeated a little bit more what we did in the first few years of our career.
Hmm. Hmm. But
Yeah.
last year there was a new release of a acoustic version of Ice Queen, so maybe that was a
Yeah.
nod to like the old era, like a little wink.
Yeah, we want to just give our fans like a different touch to what they know from 30 years ago, which was, of course, an up-tempo version and a very, very energized one. And this is more laid back and beautiful. And also that you can see that you can reshape a song so many times in different ways, and
Mm-hmm.
that a good song is always a good song, even 30 years later in different jacket.
Yeah, yeah. And you do this quite often, doing acoustic versions, doing remixes. I think nearly every album is available in instrumental version. And
Yeah.
I mean, one can say that, taking away your voice takes away a lot of from the song and from what Within Temptation is. But is there something that's appealing to you or your teammates to have an instrumental version?
Well, it's more for fans. A lot of times fans don't want to always have, they want to use it for something, and they don't want to have the voice on it, or they want to sing over it, or, that's the reason for the instrumentals. So, and sometimes also for, yeah, there's so many ways to use the music, and we just put it up for that people can use it for something else as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, understand. You're also no strangers to having features and guests in your songs, or you
No, it's
featuring
true.
someone else, notably Jacoby Shaddix, Howard Jones, Taria Exhibit, even. Is there some cooperation that you remember fondly, or something that you were excited about the most?
Well, I was excited about all of them because it's always nice. It's always beautiful when people accept the invitation,
Mm-hmm,
and we've always only asked people that we really, really admire and that really fitted the song. That's for us the most important thing. Does someone fit the song that we have written? And yeah, but one of the most special ones, to my opinion, was Exhibit, because he's from such a different musical background, where the others are having some kind of reference that
yeah.
that's similar, and that he accepted that was like, yeah, really so special. Not besides the fact that I think he comes from such a different musical background,
Mm-hmm,
and he's one of the most humble guys I've met, although he's like, yeah, and he's really this confident guy, but he also has a really small heart and really, really shiny heart. It's really such a beautiful, human being. Although I've met him only twice,
mm-hmm,
it left a huge impression. He's full of stories and wisdom, and yeah, I don't know. I was just completely blown away by him. It was just
mm-hmm.
a beautiful person.
I guess you have to have some sort of persona when you're on stage, right? People have masks.
Yeah, but I think also when you're from a certain neighborhood or from a certain upbringing
Mm,
and different culture, all these things matter, how you present yourself. But he talked about values a lot of times, but not like
mhm,
in a Christian way or something. No, just normal human values. It's like, and I was like, he had such nice way of saying it, and yeah,
mhm,
just had a beautiful conversation with him.
mm. Yeah, I personally love the features and seeing other people in different genres or different bands. It's very refreshing. Um,
Yeah, I totally agree, because you see a different side of them
mhm,
also.
yeah. And I think it's also important for the artists themselves, because I believe in 2017 you worked on some music independently, and in the end you released the My Indigo solo album, which, as far as I understood, you didn't really want to release it at first, but I guess it gave you like a creative space to work on something different, and then you came back to With the Temptation to work on new material. Uh, did the experience influence somehow your approach for the work with the band?
Yeah, at the time I had a like a writer's block for Within Station. Like we had just finished the album Hydra, I believe. Was Hydra? Yeah, I think it was Hydra.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I really thought, like, what else can we write for Within Station? I don't have any clue. And not just me, but the whole band was like, we don't know anymore. It's like, what can we write still? And no influences, no ideas. And my father was dying at that moment. He was really, really sick. And he only had a few months to live. And I needed to face myself, like during that process of like how to deal with that fact. And also
Hmm.
the writer's block. It was a lot of negativity in my life at that moment. And I was like, I really need to see how I can get through this in a good way, and eventually started working on my indigo, starting writing music, not knowing where it would go, and then not even with the intention to release it, like you said, but more like it became very beautiful in a very different way. And eventually it helped us really to get to rhythm station again, because a lot of those urban influences that we have on that album actually also turned up in the Resist album. And also, if you like, Firelight is also a song that was originally on my Indigo, but we swapped it to the Resist album, as the song was too dark for my Indigo, and it was dark enough for the Resist album, and we needed a ballad for that, and it just fitted it because we used also a lot of urban kind of stuff, a way of singing, and also sounds and everything. And I still love that album because of the fact of the comeback we made with that in a way, and not just me, but the whole band. We just found our way back to writing and finding the love back for writing again.
I understand. And speaking of being dark in the lyrics and in the topics, I think Within Temptation earlier were a lot of into like mythology and fantasy topics, and the recent material, let's say the last 3-4 albums, are lyrically more connected to the like real world events.
Yeah.
Was that shift gradual during the years, where there was a specific moment where you felt like you needed to talk about or sing about something that is real and that is important?
Yeah, and like a song like "What About Us," which is really about the environment and those kind of things. So it really started with that time already with Hydra. That's writing about certain things, like, okay, swifting from a little bit from metaphorical stuff to showing the video also what it's about, and then we're coming to Resist. It was like it's like it was pre-AI even. It was like the way that social media and social control about in governments trying to get more control over the population. Already at that time, we were like, okay, this really needs to be an album about that. We spoke a lot about that. Although maybe it's not that clear in the lyrics here and there, maybe, but not that much. But we talked a lot about it. It's like, okay, the world is really changing now, and felt the need to talk about that and to express it. But then, with the latest album, we just went all in. Like there was so much happening in the world. And we felt like, if you're not going to speak up now, when are we going to speak up and be honest about it? And it felt also hollow to make music that is only metaphorical. It's this is the time to talk with each other what kind of society we want to live in, because there's we see the climate change rapidly changing so fast, and still people are thinking that it's a hoax. It's like, because people like to because there are all these experts that are not experts that are trying to present themselves as experts, and people are being believed for the shit they're telling. It's really like, how can you get into that bubble? It's all algorithms. And that was also what we were talking about on Resist, that people are getting sucked into algorithms, and it's not okay. And it's a dangerous thing. And we see the result of it now with AI even more so. That people are getting sucked into, their own kind of bubble and their own kind of reality, where, some people even saying that the earth is flat again. It's like, oh my God, or the Holocaust didn't happen. Come on. It's like, yeah, I can't believe it. It's like, it's those kind of things. Yeah, you need to talk with each other. But then, also, if you have a friend like that, you should talk to that person. Like, okay, it's a risk to lose friendship, but also, these are fundamental things to stand up for. And it's the same with Ukraine and Iran and all the other things happening, even also in America. It's like, what kind of world are we living in? It's like,
people tend to not have open mind about anything. They have their own opinion and they can change it.
Yeah, true. And also, people are also having the tendency to shut off. Like, there's too much negativity. I don't want to see the news anymore. That doesn't get you anywhere either. So you maybe, you need to stay in contact with what's really happening, so you know what's coming for you, also in a way. And how the world is changing. And although it's a little, it's corny to say, but every drop helps. It's like really, I think it's just change starts in small ways, and enough people will join you with that small drop. It will bring change. I really believe that.
Yeah, I agree. And you mentioned it already back in 2024. You did an incredible thing, and you traveled to Ukraine to work with Ukrainian artists and play at the Atlas Festival. There's a documentary, The Invisible Force, which is all kinds of emotions. Did that experience change your perspective in a way that you saw the people there, how they have to live, and people here in Europe, where it's safe relatively so far, they think something different?
Yeah. Well, I find it. I wish everyone could go to the Ukraine to see for themselves, because I think everybody would change when they come back. It's because people shut off and don't want to think about it because it's not their country or it's not happening to them. Doesn't mean it can't happen to you as well. And it's also kind of egoistic, to my opinion, to think that way, because it's so close by. If you fly from Amsterdam to Kiev, it's 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's also 2 hours to Barcelona from Amsterdam, or it's very close, it's not that far away. It's not, and even so, we still should think about what is our own responsibility in who we vote for. It's not just about your bill, but it's about how are you going to leave the world behind for your children, and and that all impacts with who you vote for. So not voting for the short term, but for the long term is going to be very important. Has always been important, but it's even more so important at the moment, I think, as Europe is radicalizing very rapidly in different kind of countries, and there's a lot of parties who have really a different kind of ideology than the Free West used to stand for, and that's kind of scares me in a way. And the thing is, when I went to Ukraine, I've been to a country and to people that are so resilient, although they sometimes hate the word resilience because they have been so resilient such a long time. They're so tired of it. They just want to have normal life like anyone else in Europe and in the world. And the thing is that what I find so beautiful about them is, for instance, that they never target any civilian targets in Russia. They only do the military targets, and that's something that people start forgetting. It's like, it's not our war. Look how they're just defending themselves. That's all they're doing, and of course they have to push back. Otherwise, more people of them will be killed. It's a no-brainer to me. But sometimes it's difficult for other people to take the same kind of side because they just don't want to. They don't want to look at it because it's too dangerous or it's too big, or because they have to think about what it will change for them as well. If they take that point of view, then you have to take action, and taking action is another thing again. But it's I understand it very much, because it's easy maybe for me to talk because I have maybe the resources to help or to do something, and people just feel very small. I felt a lot of times, and still feel sometimes in certain situations, very small, that I think I can't do anything. But then there's always some way to do small things in the end.
Yeah,
Still.
but I mean, it's the question of being able to see the truth, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's where it starts, and embrace it. Yeah.
Okay, on to some positive topic, maybe.
Yes, of course.
Just after you returned from Ukraine, you were given a Life Achievement Award by Buma Kultur.
Yes.
And I think Within Temptation was the first band ever to receive this award. I mean, you achieved so many things worldwide, but being recognized at home, that hits differently, probably, right?
Yeah, it does. It was probably it was we didn't know what to expect. It took us a little bit by surprise. Of course, we knew we were nominated in the end and that we were supposed to come somewhere, but they did it in such a spectacular way, and we were so blown away by it that we even forgot to really speech and thank everybody that we wanted to thank afterwards. Like, we were just in complete awe. Like, okay, it's beautiful to get that kind of recognition from fellow musicians, because they put together that kind of award. And yeah, that was beautiful. It was yeah, probably the most special one that we've had so far.
And back to the music, the symphonic metal genre became a global phenomenon, like, already like 10, 15 years ago. Did you expect that this genre would be so successful and grow like this when you started out?
Well, we knew there were a lot of bands, when we started, there were just a few, and then all of a sudden, of course, in no time it exploded. It's always like that when something is in a certain way successful, I guess, that people get inspired. And so I did see it grow on a yearly basis. And it's like, wow, there's so many bands doing this now, and but it felt also like, yeah, cool to be in the front row of the starting point of this genre, of course. And no, never thought it would be as big as it is today, and how big it has become. But it's yeah, also nice to see that everybody has found their own color and own sound and own direction. It became so much bigger and more than how it started. It was just like just a few flavors, and now there's so many within that scene. They're almost not even connected anymore, except for the female fronted almost. It's like, so that's the only thing. But you see a lot of ladies in metal nowadays, and I think that's so cool. And I think if you can help to spread the seed in young girls' minds that they can do this as well, that's the most beautiful thing there is. I think it became more diverse, the music industry, because of it, I think.
Yeah, definitely, and it's definitely very good to see that everyone can get to the point where they can headline festivals and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Um, and we are now in 2026. What part of being a musician today would surprise the Sharon of 1996 the most, do you think?
How much we have changed and what we are actually doing now, because the new album is going to be so dramatically different than than we've ever sounded, which scares me a bit. But on the other hand, I do know that's a really good album, and I really love what we're doing at this moment again. So yeah, I think that the Sharon of then that time would be shocked, but I'm still shocked anyway.
I understand.
Shocked myself, because it's like I never thought we were going to go this direction. I was always told, no, don't go that direction, Sharon. It's not what we want to do. Oh, okay. I'll go back in line a little bit again.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it's good to change gears again a little bit, to sound a little bit different.
Yeah.
Is that something that excites you creatively still, that you can dip into different genres, different directions a little bit?
Yes, it does. And also because we have chosen to be as raw as possible with this album. No AI. We don't want to have any, we're anti AI for this album. We wanted, it's almost, it's like we could have called it human, the next coming up album, because we just want to, want to take rough takes. I was a bit sloppy, don't care. It's just going to be where we used to want to have it as tight as possible, as perfect as possible with, like the Silent Force. It was, but it misses a certain kind of human touch to it. Although there was no AI back then, but still, you can overdo it to be perfect. And we've learned throughout years that imperfection is where the beauty lies, actually. And where the human, sometimes it doesn't have to be that perfect, but it comes across way better when it's a little bit less perfect.
Yeah, definitely. If it's too perfect, it can be boring and predictable, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, this album is not going to be predictable at all. I think people are going to be, yeah, in a bad way or in a good way, blown away by it. Yeah.
I can't wait for that. So you're working on it now. Do you have
Yeah,
the
we
release
are.
date, or is it still?
No, nothing. No, we want to take our time because it's such a different album than we've ever done before. But really, like, expect the unexpected. Yeah, that we want to do it really well. So otherwise, people have to understand in a way why we did it, and also why we love it so much.
Mhm.
And then so we want to make it imperfectly perfect.
Great. Very, very intriguing. Thank you.
Yes, you're
Uh,
welcome.
And
Okay.
you started the band with Robert, and later became partners, and now you're married. Is there something about the creative process with him that still surprises you? Is something that you obviously know each other too well, but
No, we don't write together actually, most of the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we can't. It's like you get into a fight very quickly with each other. So we write separately from each other. We send each other emails and ideas like, okay, this is what I thought of. What are your ideas? And then we just send them to each other while not being in one room.
I see. That's a
That's
healthy,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, in a certain way, it's unhealthy and healthy at the same time. I don't know. But it keeps it healthy in a way, certain way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is it also the same way when you are on tour and he's staying home, that he's not
Yeah,
with you?
that's also the reason why he's not on tour anymore, is because it doesn't work when you're in a relationship as well. And I
Mhm.
still think we are too much together in the band with everything that we do. It's like everything's connected to each other, you know. It's like that's kind of not, and he thinks the same way. It's so much connected with everything that's it's difficult to disconnect sometimes, you know.
Mhm.
So I don't recommend it to anyone. Although it brought us so much beauty and so much, yeah, you know, such a beautiful journey. But on the other hand, it costed us also a lot.
No, it's tough. I understand. All right. Thank you very much. So, last
You're
question.
welcome.
You have this summer festivals coming out, then the work on the new album. Is there anything else you will be working on this year or next year? Anything that
No, it's so much already. You know, we all have families. We all have to have a holiday in between somewhere else.
yeah.
So, you know, we're still working on new songs, recording, and playing festivals. It's already a lot at the moment. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Understand.
hoping
All
for
right.
some time off
You'll get
in
some. You'll get
between.
some.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Thank you very much. It's been a
You're
pleasure
welcome.
talking to you.
Thank
I
you very
can't
much.
wait for your concert.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.